I want to be a little careful looking at this essay series that Maggie Mae Fish has done on Zack Snyder. So excuse me if I get a little angry and polemical because I'm trying to be as generous as possible, but I have to say she really doesn't say almost anything substantive in her essays. I'm not joking. As we're going to see, she completely contradicts herself and doesn't say very much. But we're going to try to work through her arguments, for lack of a better word. So she's going to begin with trying to tie Snyder to fundamentalist. That's not going to work. But then she's also going to make another argument, and even that's even worse. And we'll go through that as well. So again, I'm going to try to constrain myself, but she says some really crazy stuff. But we're going to give it a try.
The time I knew I was gay, I was 13. I remember he had the most astonishing blue eyes.
Oh my God. I'm in hell.
But they're not laughing because it's some kind of deep social criticism. They're laughing because they think homophobia is funny. Plus, he's inserted random references to homophobia in his other movies.
I don't hate the sinner. I hate the sin.
The satire argument feels like an excuse that people give when confronted with uncomfortable truths about their favorite director's work. Oh, also, I know that the pastor isn't satire because it's explicitly modeled after something that happened in real life.
After 9/11, Reverend Jerry Falwell placed the blame for the tragedy squarely on sex, feminism, homosexuality, and abortion.
The pagans and the abortionists and the feminists and the gays and the lesbians who are actively trying to make that an alternative lifestyle, the ACLU, People for the American Way, all of them who tried to secularize America, I point the thing in their face and say, you helped this happen.
The entirety of Snyder's Dawn of the Dead is an extrapolation of Falwell's argument. Society is punished because they didn't worship the Christian God enough.
From the scene, you might have thought to yourself, well, CJ will probably turn into a good Christian by the end, right? He'll probably learn to turn the other cheek to the zombies. But actually, the weird thing is that this character doesn't really change at all. Early on, CJ is characterized as a selfish, pushy jerk.
Find someplace else.
Look, we just need a place.
Maybe you didn't hear me.
But by the end of the movie, he's still a jerk.
What are you doing?
Fucking nursery school.
And this was one of Snyder's go-to tropes. Brooding, put-upon men who are violent and selfish, who are somehow still the hero without changing, growing, learning any lessons, or having any character development. They are anti-heroes, but just with...
Okay, well, just to begin with the obvious, nowhere does Maggie even show that Snyder is a disciple of Jerry Falwell, or that the movie explicitly is some fundamentalist Christian propaganda in disguise. So it's just an accusation without any evidence whatsoever. And her only real evidence is that the James Gunn script was explicitly a satire, but Snyder's version is less explicitly a satire. And when she's asked, well, don't you concede it is a satire? She says, no, it's not a satire. So your argument literally comes down to raw dogmatic assertion. So that's not an argument, but let's deal with it. So you're saying Snyder's heroes, male heroes, are all selfish. Now let's look at Justice League. What happened? Yes, at the beginning, Aquaman is very selfish. He says, I don't know the world anything. I'm not going to help you, Bruce Wayne. But by the end, he helps them to destroy Steppenwolf. We see the heroes at the very end. Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, Batman team up to save the universe. And the vast majority of the team is male. They're even smiling together at the end. They're smiling in daylight together. They sacrifice themselves to save the universe against Darkseid. We see this. That's what happened in the story. And there is character growth. Batman says this. I made a mistake. He says it to Superman. Cyborg begins as filled with self-pity and hatred, but he lets go of that and tries to save the universe. So you're just wrong. You're just completely wrong. Okay, fine. So she's wrong. But let's give it another try. Let's give her another try. Now she's going to literally say the complete opposite. She's going to say, oh, no. Snyder's heroes are not selfish. They sacrifice themselves. But they sacrifice themselves to death. I'm like, okay, you completely contradict yourself, but all right, let's give it another try.
Without any of the
Use helping people because they're already dead is a constant truth in the Snyderverse. It might be his most most often repeated sentiment in all of his movies.
Dude, everybody's dead.
They're already dead.
Your mom's dead.
We're already dead.
Brother's dead.
Everybody here is already dead.
Everyone's dead. Forget them. They're dead.
That fat chick at Dairy Queen? Dead.
And once you start recognizing this pattern, it really opens up Snyder's work to other examples, like Superman saying,
My world doesn't exist anymore.
or Dr. Manhattan's Calvinist view of the universe.
Everything is preordained.
Or Baby Doll accepting that she absolutely must sacrifice herself at the end of Sucker Punch.
There's gotta be another way. No.
Or Bruce Wayne saying that humankind is the fallen.
Things fall. Things on Earth. And what falls is fallen.
Or the soldiers in 300 marching to their suicide mission. Or the crowd in Batman v Superman celebrating the Day of the Dead. Or the zombies in Dawn of the Dead being literally dead. Pretty much all of Snyder's narratives ends up being pointless because everything is already decided, and everyone is already dead. This idea is so comically overused in Snyder's work, it even affected the PR for Batman v Superman. When asked where Robin is, Ben Affleck explained that in the Snyderverse, Robin is already dead. My God.
Leave Robin alone! I'm already dead. We're already dead. You're already dead. There's no use saving the world. Everyone is already dead. Even when Bruce Wayne gives his little speech at the end of Batman v Superman that's supposed to be hopeful, he says,
We fight, we kill, we betray one another, but we can rebuild.
there's no indication that we should stop fighting. Stop killing, stop betraying one another. Just that we should rebuild on the corpses while people keep treating each other horribly. Because we're already dead!
So, because we're already dead, what matters in Snyder's cinematic language is that you make sure you die a symbolic death. Die for an idea. Die, but make it a spectacle. Pa Kent is the most obvious and laughable example of this, getting dissolved into a tornado like an Alka-Seltzer. But one example that is not laughable is Baby Doll from Sucker Punch. Sorry if I get a little emotional here.
Okay, so your big thing is, they're already dead. They're already dead. They're already dead. But just repeating yourself is not an argument. Just saying the phrase, already dead, a lot of times is meaningless. But let's deal with your evidence. Robin is already dead. Yes, he's already dead in BVS because in the Miller book that the movie is based on, Robin is dead. All Snyder did was stay faithful to the source material. So Miller killed off Robin, and Zack Snyder kept that element. I will make a minor concession. I want to be fair. In the Miller book, there is a female Robin who's a young girl who is ironically a proto-feminist. She's missing in the BVS film. So we do have a female Robin in the Miller book. And Snyder did not keep it. He kept most of the Miller book. There's tons of almost shot-for-shot replication of the comic book panels. But he didn't include the female Robin. So I'll grant, that's a little curious. But Robin being already dead is in the original story. It's also in a Jim Starlin story. Zack is just paying homage to the comics. He didn't make this choice. Other writers killed off Robin. He just maintained fidelity. Now, maybe you say he shouldn't have done that, but it wasn't his story. He's adapting the story that did that. He didn't kill off Robin. They did. So you're just wrong. And then your other point is, Zack, he has these zombies, and they're dead. Right. Zombies, by definition, are dead. Logically, if you look up the definition of zombie, it's a dead person. So your argument that, Zack, he's obsessed with death because his zombies, they're dead. Yes, you stupid freaking moron. They have to be dead. They're zombies. So him keeping zombies dead is like what? That's what a zombie is. Are you nuts? Are you a complete left-wing feminist queer moron? That's what zombies are. They're dead. That's what they are in a dictionary. Like, did you want Zack to radically revise zombie mythology and have them be alive? How would that even work in a zombie movie? That's completely nutsoid. They're even dead in the Romero version. In the original film, they're still dead. Romero keeps them dead. Is he also a nihilistic fascist man? What are you talking about? Okay, so Your use of concepts is bordering on just illiterate. You're just completely silly. But okay, let's go through the final steps. Your own essay, literally your own essay, shows a woman sacrificing herself for another woman. Now, maybe, Zach, maybe the film has flaws, but we clearly see a woman sacrifice herself for another woman. So you're completely contradicting your point that he only does selfish heroes. No, his heroes sacrifice themselves for other people. His female heroes sacrifice themselves for other female heroes. What are you talking about? Your own essay refutes itself. You've literally said zero. You've literally said nothing. All you have is this crazed conspiracy theory, and you provide no evidence. None. And what evidence you do provide is completely wrong. It's empirically wrong. It's historically wrong. It's even conceptually and logically impossible. Quite literally, after seeing this part of the video, you've said absolutely not. And that's being the most generous reading of this essay. But we're going to give it another try. She has 2 other parts, so we'll try to go through it and see if Maggie has anything substantive to say about Snyder. So far, she's said absolutely nothing. But there we are.